And we're live. How's it going? I'm James Wright, and welcome to the shop. So yes, actually, this is the studio side of the shop. The woodworking side is over there, and then this is the Wizards Unite side. So yeah, we are here for a live time. I did a live question and answer back in August, and I was planning on doing one once a month, but I didn't do one in September. I didn't do one in October. I didn't do one in November. Let's do one now. Sorry for those of you who like this type of thing. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw those in the chat, and I'm going to try and get to as many of those as we can. And we do have a few people who popped up questions in the HiveMind, the Wizards News HiveMind group on Discord. So I'm just moving these questions over here so I can actually read them. If you are not watching this live, I'm going to try and put all of the questions down in the description below so you can read through the questions and see if there's one you want to jump to, and it will get you roughly to where it is in the video. I'm going to try and keep those timestamps accurate, but that's always a little bit interesting. Pull this up. There we go. So, yay, we got a bunch of people in here. Jared, Cat's channel, someone from Russia. Cool. Charles, Michael, cool. Good to have you on here. So let me actually answer a couple of the questions that came up on Discord. I asked for a couple early questions on there. Any idea if they'll be adjusting the gifts opening level? Or will we get specific gifts for the holidays? This is from Steph. So, hey, thanks, Steph. Oh, excuse me. Lunch is coming back. I don't think we're going to get an increase in how many gifts we can open in any given day. That has stayed pretty much the same in Pokemon Go, and they may change it for an event or something like that, but to increase it much larger, then you start running into issues where you're just flooding the market. So I don't think that's going to be something they'll be doing. However, will we be getting special gifts for the holidays? I am assuming yes. I would be actually rather surprised if we don't get something interesting in gifts for the holidays because, well, it's holidays. But honestly, if I had to bet on it, I would say it's probably about a 60% chance we will. So still a pretty good chance that we won't, but who knows. So let me put this down, 08. I'm recording what time everyone is posting these so that I can enter those into the future. So let's see. If you do have a question, putting it in the chat, put question before it or something like that so I can identify it because the chat comes through here and I don't have a chance to read the whole chat line. But I'll try and get to as many as you can. Why Wizards Unite and why YouTube? Well, that's actually a really good question because for me, this came from Jared Phoenix. Jared Phoenix. I have been doing YouTube as a hobby on and off for the last 10 years. And anytime I got into a new hobby, I would start shooting videos of it and put them up online for my own information and basically cataloging what I've done so I could go back and see what I've done. So I have a channel dedicated to building an airplane. I had a channel dedicated to hobbies. I had a channel dedicated to real estate, running, a whole bunch of channels like that. Then about 5 years ago, I had a channel about hand tool woodworking, and that started to take off. And over the course of the last 5 years or so, YouTube has become my full-time income. So yes, it was kind of a surprise thing, but it's kind of fun because I can do what I want. Now, along that line, I have been with Niantic Games since day one of Ingress. Well, actually, day two, I finally got my invite. It was driving me bonkers that I couldn't get it earlier than day two. But I'm still heavy into Ingress. I still play it rather regularly. I got into Pokemon Go. I've since stopped Pokemon Go. It just doesn't draw me quite as much. But I am a big a Potterhead, and I love the Harry Potter stories. And as soon as I heard that Niantic and Harry Potter were getting together, it was like, yeah. And so it was just kind of one of those obvious things that I would get together and continue making videos, but start up a channel for Wizards Unite. So I mean, this channel basically pays for itself, and it's allowed me to do some other things that I don't normally do with my other channels. Most of my small channels are just me shooting a video and putting it up for my own recollection. My woodworking channels, Wood by Wright, as you can see right here, this is a subscriber counter for Wood by Wright 2, and Wizards News. And those channels are the bread and butter of my income. So this Wizards News doesn't really bring in any income. It is a hobby that pays for itself for me. So it's a little bit different than some of the other ones. Let's see. Any other questions in here? Ooh, Saskatoon. I will actually be up in Saskatoon. At least I'm assuming it's in Saskatchewan. Let's see. It would be January 8th, I believe, is when I'll be up there. It would be the first full week of January. I'm going to be up there for 3 days. So I'm hoping to do a get together with some people up there. Do you know anything about the 12 Days of Christmas and what it is? No, I do not. Yeah, and just so everyone knows, I signed an NDA with Niantic and sent it into them, with not with Niantic, with WB, and I have not actually gotten that back. So I am not in the actual know of what's going on. So I filled out an NDA, but I have not actually gotten that validified. So I don't actually get any inside information other than grapevine and talking to a few people who do get inside information, but they don't actually share things that often, if at all. So I don't have any inside information that's not out there. But that being said, I've heard a lot of rumors about what they are. I've heard some things as simple as 12 tasks you will complete, and each one is a step harder. So the first task is 1 item, the second task is 2 items, and the third task is 3 items. And that sounds kind of cool. I'm really hoping it becomes something much harder to that, in that it is 12 sets of tasks, and the first set is 1 task, and then the second set is 1 task and then 2 tasks, and then the third set is 1 task and then 2 tasks and then 3 tasks. So that means it would be a ton of work to get done, and then cram it all into like 2-day 48-hour period. I highly doubt they will do something like that, because most people would not be able to complete it. I'm assuming that whatever they're going to be doing for it will end up being basically something that most players can complete in about 30 to 40 minutes. I don't expect it to be anything massive, kind of like what it was for Halloween. A good event for 48 hours or so that someone can complete very easily. So I'm expecting that will be, but who knows? It will be kind of fun. I really hope they do it up well, because it's a great concept and could be very, very cool. Will there ever be a potion to increase oddities? I don't think there will be a potion to increase specific families. That would be kind of interesting. I don't know exactly how they would program that in, but I don't think they'll ever do that specifically. What you can do is, if you use a trace tonic and you go to a specific location where those foundables commonly are, the trace tonic will bring whatever regularly occurs in that area. So if you are in like dusk and you use a trace tonic, there's a chance you're going to be getting your leprechauns and your snakes and things like that occur during dusk. But anything specific, I really don't think so. Which tower chamber are you using the most for your battles? It really depends. And actually, it's actually something I'm doing a study on right now. I'm trying to put out a video looking at what is the best chamber for grinding books. It's very easy to do that for grinding books per runestone. So if you are worried about the amount of runestones you have, basically you just go as high as you can, as hard as you can, and you'll get a better bang for your buck for challenge XP to runestones. But I want to know challenge XP to time. So like, I have 30 minutes to go spend in a fortress. What fortress level and what runestone should I use to get the most challenge XP in 30 minutes? And so I'm playing with a whole study on that. And the interesting thing about that is it's not just runes level and then your runestone level. You also have to take in consideration your profession and then your profession level. So how strong are you in particular profession? So I'm doing a good bit of study on that. I was trying to get a video on that particular topic out today. But that fell through. And so I was going to do another video on another topic, and that fell through as well. And so I was like, hey, live Q&A. But right now I'm mostly doing Tower 4. I like that. It's just a fast speed zone. Without potions, I usually can complete Forest 3, Forest 4 without running into the timeline without potions. And so that's kind of my big goal of how can you do it without potions. But yeah. So hope that answers your question. Any potions you don't use or have space to? This is from Bret R. I I use different potions at different times, and there are very few that I don't use at all. Let me just put this down. 17. There we go. Let me open this up. As I generally don't brew regular stimulo potions. I don't have much of a tendency to do that. I generally focus on brewing potent stimulo potions, and then if I don't have the ingredients for a potent, then I'll brew the strong. Come on, load up. Invigoration draughts. I don't do regular invigoration draughts, and I almost never use them either. Strongs, if I'm going to be soloing a very high level, if I want to try and solo Dark 5, I'm going to be using strong invigoration draughts. Let me pull it up. Here we go. There we go. So I generally don't keep miniature of those on hand. I'll keep 6 of them on hand. That'll let me do Dark 5 twice myself. Let's see what else. Healing potions. I never use healing potions unless I'm doing like Dark 5 or something hard. It's very rare that I use a healing potion. And I have 61 of them right now. I'm probably going to delete some of those here soon. I usually keep some wit sharpening potions on hand, but I don't use them that much unless I'm going into a higher level. So it really depends on what I'm planning on doing. For my regular daily play, it's basically just dwaddle draughts, the potent stimulos, and then, of course, brain elixirs and tonics. I go through brain elixirs and tonics like they're water. So, yeah. How often do you play each day? What is your profession? I am a professor, and I've been focusing almost strictly on professor, though I am currently also building my Auror. I have maxed out all of them that I can with just scrolls, both in Auror and Magizoologist. So I'm putting books into Auror now because I want to build that one up as well. There's sometimes where it's just useful to be able to play as an Auror. Excuse me. And how often do you play each day? I try to get in at least 30 minutes a day. I can't always do that. I always do my gifts. I almost always do the daily assignments, though doing a tower, that's the one I miss if I miss something, because, well, a tower or ends because I have to drive a ways to get to those, so I don't always get those done. But I try to do at least a half hour a day just to keep up with it and play around. Most of the time, I rarely can get in more than about an hour and a half to 2 hours. If I really have a good day, I can get in 2 hours of play, but that's maybe once a week. So I don't play that much, but everyone's a little bit different in how much they do, so I guess you can't compare that directly. Is there a place you can see the chance of a specific odd escaping? Sorry, I don't understand the question. You have to repost that one. Question: which Harry Potter book is your favorite? That is a hard one. I really like Order of the Phoenix. The play back and forth between what I consider to be the worst bad guy or bad girl of the whole series, as well as the fantastic feeling of Dumbledore's army. I really like that balance back and forth. That's really good. Book 3, I think, is my favorite just because it's the beginning of the real story. They're giving Harry more than just his standard backstory. They're showing that there is a gray area. It's not just good and bad. Because the first 2 books, it's very clearly good and bad, and you're either on one side or the other, and there isn't that gray area of Mundungus Fletcher. And showing that things can be a little different depending upon how you're looking at it. I really like that. That's one of the things I love about the series is how not only do the books grow over time and J.K. Rowling's writing grows over time, but the understanding and the age group that they're focusing on just growing over time, I find those to be phenomenal. So, yeah. Is there a play? Sorry, that was from Audrey Johnson. Put that in here before I forget it. 21. Let's see. How does your family support you or not on your playtime? my oldest daughter Melody and my middle son JJ play with me occasionally. They don't play every day, but when I do take them out, they'll play quite a bit. They're 7 and 9, 8 and 9 right now. My wife is not interested at all. She's not really much of a Potter fan. One of these days I'll get the app on her phone and she'll play a little bit. But my wife is very supportive about me and YouTube because, well, YouTube is providing a large chunk of the family income. So she is very good with allowing me to do that. And so that allows me to write off my time of, I got to go play because I got to get it in for work. Yeah. But most of the time it's not something that's a problem. We have a pretty clear understanding about when I can play games and when I can't, and what I do around family, and when it's family time, and I'm not pulling out my app and playing them. Scroll down too far. Oh my, too many questions here. Any official word on when we will get Adventure Sync? Oh man, I hope so soon, because it's getting cold out now, and I can't actually carry my phone in my hand because then my fingers get cold, and so because of that, my mileage has gone way, way down. I'm hoping it's soon, but yeah, well, it will be soon because that's what they've been saying. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. My initial guess was that it would be here in December. But yeah, it didn't come in early December, so I'm guessing early next year, but I don't know. I honestly do not know. 24, I'm going to put that in here. Do you think we will be able to delete gifts that we have received rather than having to open them? I don't think so. That is, they may do something like that in the future, but it kind of, the problem with that is being able to, they like the plurality, having the different types of gifts. Otherwise, if you can only delete them, then very few people will ever open regular gifts. And so I can see the desire to do that, but from the programming side, I don't think that will become a reality, because then why even give regular gifts? Or why even have them in the game? And so that just kind of mixes things up that way. Question: are you free to play or play to win? This is from Jared Phoenix. They're really, okay, this is a pet peeve of mine. I hate the term pay to win, because there isn't free to play and pay to win. As with anything, there is a large gray area. There are people who only play free. And many games, I'm that way. And there are people who dump money into this like mad. And they're doing some amazing things, but they're throwing heavy amounts of money at it. I view it as, how much money would I pay for a game like this if it were on a console or something like that? And in all honesty, if I had a console like this, I would probably end up paying $100, maybe $150 for something like this, because it would be a really, really cool game. And so when I first got it, I dumped that money into the game because I wanted to play with that. And I didn't put any more money in for quite a while. But every now and then I'm like, I just really like this game and I want to say thank you to the programmers and put something in here. So I put some more money into the game. And so I don't see it as play to win or free to play. That, yeah, I hate those terms. So yeah, sorry, pet peeve. There is a wide variety, and it just automatically creates two teams and negativity, and I just do not like negativity on them. So, nope. Are you going to just Saskatoon or other Canadian cities? Just Saskatoon, and I really won't have much time in there. I'm going to try and get with the local group and meet up for a couple hours one night, but we'll see how that is. Oh, kids just got home, so might get a little loud up there. Whoa, jump too far. I'm curious about, do you think we can see 10-man raids anytime soon? Oh, 10-man raids anytime soon. I don't know. If you look at it from a programming standpoint, right now we have our current skill trees, and then the chamber levels that match up with those perfectly. And so if they're going to give us more skill tree, there's going to either be more chamber levels or wider chamber levels. In other words, more people or different capabilities in them. And so it'll be interesting to see where they take that. If I had to guess, I would say the next skill tree set would probably be coming. I was originally thinking beginning of the year, but there are still a lot of people who haven't gotten anywhere near completing the tree sets that we have, and so it wouldn't surprise me if we don't get this until the 1 year anniversary of the game, so sometime in June where we get the next set of skill trees. That would make sense. And in which case, it might be interesting to see, if they open higher games that have more people on it, but then you run into server issues. Hey, just a second here. Come on in, JJ. I'm live right now. Say hi. This is JJ. He's one of the other players. So, do you like playing Wizards Unite? Yeah. Yeah. Go play. Go tell everyone I'm live right now. Thanks, bud. Put that question in here before I forget. I don't know if you guys could hear that. Wrong question. Let me put this one on here. Yeah, I expect sometime in the future they will increase raid sizes, but I don't see that on the immediate horizon. I have also heard some rumors of possibly doing or setting it up for long distance groups so that you can work with other people in other places on a particular fortress. But again, that's way in the distance. Do you know if there is a chance we can organize our friends list? I would absolutely love to be able to do that. I'm assuming we will be getting nicknames here soon, and with nicknames there would be the organization, so you can sort by has given you a gift, or sort by most active, or last person you've interacted with. I think that those will be those should be coming here pretty soon. I wouldn't put a timeline on it, but I would be expecting those to be here fairly quickly, because that is a very big convenience factor. So yeah. But keep in mind, it took Pokemon Go 4 or 5 months from the release of gifts to putting nicknames in, so it may be a little ways out. Yeah, is the 12 days of Christmas, 12 tasks of Christmas, a 12-day event or a 12-task event? It is listed as the 12 tasks of Christmas, or 12 assignments, 12 tasks of Christmas. So it's not listed as 12 days. I'm assuming it's going to be a 48-hour thing, but who knows? Hi from England. Sorry, we're trying to read down and catch the questions. I'm probably not going to have time to get to everyone, but I'll get to as many as I can. See, Mary Richardson asks, can you get flagged areas in-game? None of my banks, tennis courts, shopping areas are flagged. The way the game pulls this from is it pulls it from open maps. So if you go on openmaps.com, in there you can map out different areas. So you can map out where a park is or where something else is, and Wizards Unite pulls that data and use those as zones. If you want to try and make those into zones, you can actually go in there and create the mapping for it, because that's the nice thing about Open Map is anyone can edit it and modify it. And they will update the map they updated Pokemon Go like once every 3 years. So it might be a while until new zones appear. But we've been having a lot of inns and greenhouses and fortresses being added due to ways coming out. And that's been speeding up getting those approved. So we'll be seeing more points of interest. Is there a spreadsheet where the chance of a foundable escaping is listed? I have not seen one yet. This is from Ragnald Kruse in Denmark. Cool. I have not seen one with actual departure rates. I would love to see that, because it does seem that the departure rates do not equate to the difficulty rating of how hard it is to return. But it is pretty clear cut that the more difficult a rating is, the higher the chance it's going to depart. So if you have a high severe, or if you have a high emergency, it's almost like 50-50 of a departure rate. So those are very, very high, but there are some in the middle where it seems like the departure rate doesn't quite line up with their difficulty. But no, I have not actually seen someone being able to do a detailed study on it. And that's the big reason is that it almost feels like different foundables have different rates. And so you'd actually have to track one particular type of foundable over and over and over again. And the amount of data and research on that would be absolutely astronomical. And no one is focused enough to actually put that amount of information into it. So maybe sometime in the future, but haven't seen it yet. Have you heard of going to change the flag colors? Greetings from Netherlands. I don't know what you mean by changing the flag colors. Sorry. What do you think is next? This is from Moises Camacho. Sorry, I'm the great name butcherer. Many players have finished or are close to finishing their profession lessons. What do you think is next? New tower challenges with new profession lessons. Yeah, I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. I don't think they're going to be doing that because it is the really active players who are close to that. The average players are probably another couple months away from getting close to wrapping up their professions. But I would assume that we would get a release at the same time with a new set of profession skill tree as well as a more difficult fortress setup. But when, I really don't know. Originally, I was guessing first of the year, but now I'm thinking, honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised to see it wait all the way until June when we have the 1 year anniversary of the game. But who knows? It's all guesses and speculations. Yeah, well, one question along that line that a lot of people have been asking me, though, is should I save my books and scrolls to use on the new professions? And that's a personal question. For me, I am dumping them into other professions. I want to have a broad base. And what I'm assuming is once they add more skill tree, they're going to create another item, whether it be the pink books or something of that nature. I don't know. And what that does is it basically speed locks everyone. So if you have someone who has built up this huge back stock of books and scrolls, they're not going to immediately be able to complete the new skill tree. They're going to have to wait and grow them just like anyone else would. So I'm expecting that there's going to be a new speed gap in there, something to actually control the growth of players from that point. And the easiest way to do that is to introduce a new item that people have to get. So that's why I don't have any problem dumping them into another profession, because I really don't think they do that. Just that would make bad game programming. Sorry, reading down through these, trying to find questions here. Jared Phoenix, question: which community day has been your favorite and most productive, and why? I'm asking because I've missed a few community days and now want to know how good the game has gotten. Honestly, my second community day is still my absolute favorite, and that was it was a fortress focused community day, and it was kind of like the perfect storm for us here because we had a large community turnout. We had good weather, so we could all get together. We all bought a bunch of bag chairs and some snacks, and we hung out at the park and enjoyed the time. We all gathered around one fortress and challenged together. It was an incredible amount of fun. It was great to get the community together, and it was a good way of doing that. I think my second favorite was the last community day where we had the fortress focused. Just being able to hang out again with people. The problem with this one is the weather here. Everyone's cold, and so we're all stuck in cars. I'm trying to find a restaurant around where we can reach a fortress. But yeah, that's That's that. So I really like Fortress communities because they force people to come together. And that's one of the great things is it draws everyone together to a fortress. It's not like Pokemon Go where there's literally billions of people playing the game. Okay, millions of people playing the game. So you could just walk around a park and run into people all over the place. You really got to bring people together and get a reason for people to come together. And that's what I like about community days is it's a community and it's Wizards Unite. Let's see, this was 37. Recording this down for people who want to see. Oop, I forgot to copy. Copy, there we go. Pasting over here. Any idea of what the maximum spell energy bag space is? No one has found the maximum. I've seen screenshots of people with over 2,000 spell capacity. I currently have over 600, and I'm thinking about bumping that up because I've been riding my top cap, and I still will have days where I fill it out and completely run up against the cap, and then 2 or 3 days later I'm completely empty because I do a lot of running and I collect my energy while running, and then I go play. And I'll do like the parking lot hop, or I'll do fortress chambers, and I'll run out of energy. So I like having that big cap, but I've never actually seen anyone find a maximum on any of the vaults. So as far as we know, you can make them as big as you want. Any chance on them increasing the number of gifts we can open per day? No, I answered that one a little earlier, and quick answer, no. Maybe for an event, but I don't think that will be a possibility in the future. It would not make good game programming. Do you think we may have a fan fest elsewhere in the world next year? Ingress events tend to be all around the world. This is from Bernhard Kau. Kau? Sorry, Bernhard, I'm always messing up your name. I don't know. I mean, Pokemon Go tends to have the same cities that they hit all the time. Whereas Ingress has smaller events that they can do everywhere. And that's one of the nice things about Ingress is because they are smaller events and there's less people, it's much easier to move them around to different locations. And I think that will be a little bit more the case. I mean, the Fan Fest this year was more or less just an experiment. I really don't think that was all that... let me take this down. I don't think that was like the form that everyone's going to be following because it is very... I was absolutely flabbergasted they have an event that close to the game coming out. Now, they did create a lot of things for it, and they made a lot of items and decorations, and so we may be seeing those again. But if I had to guess, I would say they are going to be doing it in different locations. I would be expecting 3 locations next time, but I haven't heard a lot of information about what the demographics of the game are. I mean, I have, from my audience, I'm about 60% US, 40% rest of the world. And of that 40%, like 20% is in Europe. And then the other 20% is in Australia, South Pacific, and Asia. And so I don't know. It's not as big in Japan, but a lot of the South Pacific Asia region actually has a decent draw. So, yeah. Half of me says I would not be surprised if they have it in the same place because they know the location. And then half of me says they're probably going to have it move US's somewhere else and give another location a chance for that. But I would kind of expect that they do it in a couple other countries as well, to give other people, now that they've done the experiment with the US this time, I'm kind of expecting it to be in other places as well next year. But we'll see. Just wanted to think you... question. A snail. Ooh, I'm getting a question from a snail. Do you think the items you can buy are good value? It depends. Sometimes I'll buy the the event prizes. I don't generally buy much out of the regular, with the few exceptions of like if I'm doing, before I used to be doing a lot of fortress research, and so I'd be buying a lot of runestones. I now have a huge backstock of runestones and haven't had to buy runestones in forever. If I'm going to be doing really high level fortresses, which I've done for a few videos, I've bought potent stimulos so I can do that rather than having to brew up 20 of them. But if I need a bunch of items for a particular event and I'm low on them, and there's a good deal in the store, then I buy them on there. But each one's a little bit different. So that is a very personal question, and going to be an answer everyone's going to answer a little differently, because everyone has a different billfold, and everyone has a different way of looking at things. So yeah. Oh, a bunch of people saying hi to JJ. Yeah, I'm that far back in the list right now. Sorry, I highly doubt I'm going to be able to get to everyone's question. So, I mean, if you really want to put up a question, go ahead and put it in a super chat, and I'll try and answer them there. But I don't think I'm going to be able to get to everyone. Actually, yeah. You can be more than one profession. How does that work? Yes, you can be more than one profession. You can switch between professions at any time. Not anytime. You can't switch while you're in the middle of a battle. But you can always go to another profession and switch. And when you go back to the profession you were last at, it will be exactly where you left it. So you can grow your profession. You can grow any of the professions alongside each other. So I have my skill tree basically maxed out for professor, except for I'm missing a few. I need 3 more brilliant events, because I need 45 more. 45. Yeah, I need 45 more green books. To max out professor. So I'm working on my Auror, which I've gotten up to level 9, I think, somewhere around there. So yeah, those are coming along. But yes, you can switch back and forth at any time. Am I concerned about COPPA affecting my channel? Yes and no. It is still there are a lot of questions that people don't have especially answered. For this channel, no, not that much. My woodworking channel, no, not that much. But I have a channel for my daughter, and she does woodworking in the shop with me. And so it's Melody's Workbench. How does that actually affect? It's a child making a video for other children. And so there are a lot of questions like that we haven't gotten clear answers on that. So it'll be interesting, but no, I'm not worrying about it that much, because it is not as big a deal as it's being made out. Things like this come along quite often in the industry. So, oh well. Hey babe, I'm live right now. I'm live right now, just saying hi. You can say hi, but if you want people to see you. She's, not feeling good. Let's see. What's the next question? Is this community day worth to play? Yes. This one has the very clear possibility of being the best community day thus far. I'm really, really looking forward to this community day. Any news on Adventure Sync? I talked about that earlier. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. I don't know. I'm having a hard time making's community. I've been through every local Discord and no luck. Only time I've made a connection during community day. How can I make more Wizards Unite friends? This is a question I actually want to do a video on here soon. Is a lot of people compare Wizards Unite to Pokemon Go. And in Pokemon Go, the community is so large, you can't go anywhere without bumping into someone else who's playing the game. I come from the background of thinking about Ingress. And I played Ingress for almost a year before I had anyone local to me playing. I'd have to drive an hour to Madison or an hour to Milwaukee to find someone else to play. I mean, as a matter of fact, when we made the first ever level 8 portal in Wisconsin, we drew together 8 people, and of those 8 people, 6 of them drove over 3 hours to get there to do it. And so don't ever expect Wizards Unite to have massive communities in local areas unless you live in a big town. That is not the standard for geolocation games. Pokemon Go is very much the oddball in geolocation games. So don't ever expect to have massive local people playing it. And for community days, a lot of people drive a decent distance to get to a community that's actually playing. And that is what geolocation games do, other than Pokemon Go, which is just weird. So most of the time, if you are making friends, you are on Discords, and they are people who are in other places of the world. And that is the community of Wizards Unite, is that online portion of it. And so that's why if you are not online in Discord groups and things like that, you're really missing out on the fun of the game. If you had to guess, what do you think we will have new higher runestones, 6 to 10 coming out? I'm assuming having another set of higher level runestones will be connected with rolling out more skill tree and larger fortress battles. That was actually one of the big surprising things, is right off the bat, I mean, since the very beginning in the code, there are runestones 1 through 10 in the code, and everyone was like, okay, runestones 1 through 10. And I actually made a few videos with runestones, and I show there are runestones available 1 through 10. It was at the beginning, and we just hadn't seen them yet, so we're assuming we're going to find them anytime now, and we still haven't seen runestones 1 through 10. If I had to guess, I would say they're coming out with the more professions, which could be the beginning of the year. It could be until June. It's probably a little ways out, but we'll see. What is a good way to get more keys? Grind like mad. It seems like you get a key about every 200 or so foundables on average. Some people get more, some people get less. But the more foundables you get, the more chance you're going to get a key given to you. Let me just put this in here. Other than that, it's doing the not the daily assignments, but the monthly assignment list and finding those in there. There really isn't any other way other than that. So, yeah, there isn't something that you can just do to absolutely grind them other than grinding foundables. How does a chamber work when you are more than one profession? Do you select it before going? This is from Michael Sarfoshire. Sorry, the great name butcher strikes again. When you want to do, you cannot do multiples in one, so you have to pick your profession before you go into the chamber. So when you're out of the chamber, you can switch it back and forth, and then when you go into the chamber, you are whatever profession you are. Also, you can change your profession, and it will affect your oddities. So when you're out getting oddities, you want to pick whatever profession you have the highest power in. And so I've done a couple times. I've switched professions for other things, and then I'll come up against like a centaur, and it's like, why is this centaur taking 3 hits to knock out? Oh yeah, I'm still at Mauricio, so I need to go back and switch my profession for that. So that is one thing you can do. Reading down. Oh wow, this list is getting long. I wish there was more ways to collect books. A lot of people say you've got to play with other people to get more books. And yes, you do get more books when you play Fortress with other people, but most people out there, the vast majority of players out there, do not do Fortresses with multiple people, just because there aren't multiple people out there to do it with. So don't worry about that. Don't feel like you're falling behind. Most people out there are playing solo. That's just the way of the game. Do you think we will ever get in-game chat, or at least some method to communicate with friends? No, I do not think we will ever get a in-game communication method. Ingress has tried multiple different ways to do it and run up against several problems, and it's one of those things that in theory can work really well, but has never been a system that works well and has created a ton of weird problems. And I have not heard of anyone coming up with a great answer to that or a way of doing it. So no, I do not think we'll ever have in-game chat. It's just one of those programming and legal issues that it just does not have a clear answer for how to do it. Whoop, wrong one. Put this one on there. So let's see. I'm probably going to be on here for another 8 to 10 minutes or so. So if you have a particular question that I didn't get to yet, go ahead and repost it. And I'll try and get to as many as I can. I'm sorry if I don't get to yours. If you really, really want me to get it, go ahead and throw a super chat up there, but I'll try and answer those. Oh, I'm buffering. Sorry. My kids just got home, so apparently a couple of them logged on to watch videos. Sorry, reading down through questions to see. I have a small friends list where I know everyone is manageable. It's a personal preference. Oh, you're answering a question earlier. Are you still buying the combined vault extensions to save gold, or you buy them separately? I generally buy them separately now. This is from Todd Cole. Because, I mean, you can get the combined vault that makes it a little bit cheaper, but I did that right off the bat when I wanted to increase all three vaults. But right now I have no desire anymore to increase my vault for ingredient capacity, because I completed my ingredient achievement, and so I don't need that anymore. I have never run up against my potions vault, so I have no reason to increase that. I run up against my energy vault all the time, and so I'm probably going to be increasing that one, but in which case I'm just going to be buying the energy vault because that's all I really need. So yeah, at a certain point you're going to run into the place where you don't need two of the three, you just need one of them. You're always talking about the parking lot hop. We don't have many big parking lots here in Holland. Yeah, in Holland there aren't. What is the idea behind this? Do you just need a lot of small streets? The idea behind the parking lot hop is here in the U.S. and anywhere you have large shopping centers, a lot of people will use GPS to get there. And so anytime a lot of people use GPS, particularly Google Maps and things like that, it logs this as a popular location. And the more popular a location is in GPS, the more foundables are going to be appearing there. And it's the same platform that's used through all of them. In Ingress, there's going to be more XM on the ground there. In Pokemon Go, there are going to be more Pokemon there. In Wizards Unite, there's going to be more foundables there. And so parking lots, because a lot of people are using GPS to get there, tend to be a hotbed for the action there. And so in the U.S., we have huge parking lots in the front of large shopping centers, and so it's easy to hop around those. In Europe, there really aren't a lot of those. And so what you're looking for is a large area where a lot of people will use GPS to get there, or are large areas where people congregate. And so those will have more spawn locations in them. And so what you're kind of looking for is a big area with lots of spawns. Whether or not there are inns there, it just has a lot of spawns. And so with the parking lot hop, you can then stay in this and go around and around and around and always be getting the spawns you need. So you're looking for that big zone that has a lot of spawns. And it just happens to be that in the U.S. that means parking lots, which honestly I find to be one of these really annoying things about the game. But I mean, it's one of the annoying things about all Ingress games. Oh wow, I'm way down there. How many gifts can you open each day? 10. Sorry, reading down through trying to find questions. What chat are James reading? The one you're actually posting in. Will there ever be different ways to get green books? I don't think so. I think that green books are strictly a brilliant event item, and I think that will be something that will continue throughout the skill tree. The reason being is that is a very good time lock, so that everyone progresses at the same speed throughout the thing. And so particularly like as a professor, because you need a lot more green books than anyone else, it is a very good method of having a progression lock in the game. So no one can fly ahead and be done with it and beating everyone else. I don't think there will be another way to do that because it is the time lock. That was from Sincere Harmony. Nice question. Hi, James. Prediction for the upcoming next year. Yeah, I don't even want to touch that one because who knows? If I had to make my predictions of what's going to happen, I'm expecting Active Sync to come out in January. I'm expecting a new skill tree and skill tree fortress and runestone reset to be happening sometime in March, be my guess. Springtime when that starts coming around again for the Northern Hemisphere. I'm expecting them to announce FanFest or FanFest-like events sometime around March as well. And then those are... No, they probably won't do that until around May. And there will be those events happening late summer for the Northern Hemisphere. So those are my guesses, but my guesses are rarely right. But who knows? We'll see. Let's see. I don't see any of the questions. Sorry, reading down through trying to find the questions. And a lot of chat going on. Here we go. Question. Not sure if you've addressed what your thoughts were to experience the next upcoming community day. And thoughts of driving around versus walking around outside malls and parking lots with holiday shoppers. I gave most of my thoughts in the last video where I talked about community day. This one really has the possibility of being a great community day. Other than the fact, my only thing is that it really doesn't draw people together. It will help us a little bit, and that's one of the reasons why I do the parking lot hop. Is parking lot hop and bad weather means that everyone gets together into a car, and having everyone in the van together means that the community can spend time laughing and enjoying things and like, ooh, go look at this, and ooh, isn't that cool? And that makes it a lot of fun. It's one of the reasons why I like doing Fortress Community Days, is it really forces the community to come together to a location. Thoughts of driving around as opposed to walking around. If the weather was good, I would walk around. I would much rather be walking around than driving around. But with the weather sub-zero and whatever could be in the forecast, driving is much more enjoyable. And if I had a good mall to go to, I would probably go to the mall. Malls tend to be very enjoyable, but not one around here, sadly. Sorry, reading down through, seeing if there are any other. Here we go. Reezy60 question: your thoughts on next community day sponsored mall versus flagged areas? If I had a sponsored mall to go to, I'd probably go there, just because they are. An indoor mall is always a great place to go. It's easy to walk around. The weather's always perfect. You're probably going to be running into a lot of people because that's where people go. Flagged areas, my guess is they're going to be turning the flags off for this. So I don't think flags are going to help you out at all. And I don't think that would be well worth it. So yeah, if you had focus between going to a random flagged area or going to a sponsored mall, go to the sponsored mall. Much better chance there, or much better fun time there. Let's see, a couple more questions. I'm probably going to wrap this one up. Let's see how many of these I can get through. Jumped again. How do you join the hive mind? If you go down in the description in this video, there is a link to it down below, and it is called the Discord Hive Mind, Discord Wizards News Hive Mind. And you can go on there, and I actually have an entire video where I walk someone through the hive mind. And it's a great community where people can talk all things Wizards Unite, as well as I bounce some ideas off of for videos and do a lot of research, and there's a lot of other fun things going on in there. Yeah, if you go to any video I've put out, you'll see a link to that in the description. Well, any video in the last 5 months or 4 months, I think I had it out for. Why do you think that in Wizards Unite you can catch foundables going at high speed in a car, meanwhile in Pogo they don't spawn? There is slightly different mechanics between Pogo and Wizards Unite in the GPS mapping system. And I really don't know what exactly those are. Yeah, I really don't know why they are. They seem to have about the same speed limit for distance tracking, but they have very different limits for when you can return things. So yeah, 03, push that comment in there. Yeah, and different people have said different things, that they actually can catch Pokemon at high speed, and some people say no, you can't. And I guess it depends on what high speed is. Yeah. Any ideas for future spells? Is there a spell you would like to use that is not in the game yet? Oh yes, there's lots that I would like to use. And if you go into the game, if you look down into the achievements, you will have distinct spells, and you will have either 12 or 13 in there. 13 is a glitch, 12 is the actual number of spells that are currently in the game. But it hasn't gotten to there is an assignment, so you actually can get more in the future. So they will be putting out more in the future. What they are, when they are, who knows? That will be something very fun to see, and I don't see any plans to see when those will come out. But I don't know. That was from Patricia Takle. So I think that would be another thing that would probably be coming around the 1 year anniversary of the game. I mean, keep in mind this game is designed in mind with being multi-year. So this is not something that you're going to see a lot, and they have changes planned for the next several years. So they have things that are in the code that will not be activated for several years to come. And I think some of the spells will be that. Even though it's an endless game, what would you consider the end goal? Reaching level 60 or collecting all foundables or something else? I don't know if there is an end goal. And everyone is different in what goals they have for the game. There are some people who are really into that big number of the level, reaching level 60. And there are going to be a lot of people who hit 60 and then quit the game because that was their goal. And then there are a lot of people who will be in it for returning foundables, and they'll get to a certain point where they're always returning the new foundables and they just can't ever keep up because there's more being released, and that will drive them away. And there are other people who are in it for the storyline, which that is a long game idea. That's going to be decades in the work for actually following that storyline. For me, I'm in it for the community. I love hanging out with people online and talking to other people about it. I mean, this right here, this is why I'm in the game. So yeah, I just realized I've been looking at the wrong camera. I'm sorry, I haven't looked anyone in the eye the entire time. Yeah, so it really depends on what your goal for the game is. And one of the things I really love about this is there are so many different goals. The whole fortress achievement, the skill tree climbing, the foundables, the leveling. Everyone's going to find something different in this game, and so it really depends on what your personal goal is. Let me do one more question down here. We have Heather Michaelson. Do you think that some of the new spells might be unforgivable ones? Ooh, maybe they cost more energy. That's a really interesting idea. I actually hadn't heard of that one. I don't think so. Reason being is we work for the ministry, and that just would not fit the theme of the game. For the same reason, I don't think we will ever see PvP playing in this. That was one of the big things in Ingress. There are 2 teams, and those 2 teams fight against each other constantly. And there's a lot of derision between those 2 teams. In Pokemon Go, there's the 3 teams, and there's a little less derision, but there's still enough that there's still some head knocking. In Wizards Unite, you have 3 different professions, but all 3 professions work together and unite to make this something bigger. And I don't think we will ever see anything that is one person immediately against another person. I think that just goes against the whole storyline and characteristic of the game. If you want PvP, there's lots of other games out there for that. But for me, I don't think that'll be something we'll see. So, this has been a lot of fun, and thank you for all of you coming out. If you do have any other questions that I didn't get to, go ahead and send me a message. Hit me up on the Hive Mind group, and I'll try and do one of these every now and then. Sorry, it's been, almost 4 months since I've had one of these. I'll try and do them a little more often, but I think I'll about do it for now. We need to end this with... Please. I was going to have a video coming out yesterday, but that fell through. And so I was going to have another video coming out today, and that fell through, so we get the live today. But we have to open up. What is today? Today is the 8th. So we've got to open up. We've got to open up 3 more. Wow. Okay, so let's see what we get today. Number 6. Number 6, we get... Here, open it up without looking. And then we can pull up here, and we get... Ooh! Oh, is that serious? Oops, sorry. Not serious. Snipe? Wow, I'm having issues today. Wow, focus. Come on, focus. There we go. Professor Snape. I like that. Okay, next one. Number 7. Number 7 is, I'm not going to look. I'll let you guys look first. So it is this person. And this is, Igor Korkorov. Igor, I like that one. Okay, let's see what we get next. We got 2 more. Oh no, we got 1 more. I got to do number 8. What's behind door number 8? And door number 8, we've got something in this one. I'm not going to look again. Not going to look. And we've got... Ron! Grumpy Ron, yes! That is very fitting since the Brilliant event ends in a couple days here. Grumpy Ron. So we've got Professor Snape, Grumpy Ron, and Igor Korkorov. I like that. Cool. Well, this has been a lot of fun. And if I didn't get to your question, go ahead and send me a message, particular on the Hive Mind. That works out really well. And I think that'll do it for today. Until next time, have a magical day. Now we got to play the game of find the off button. Where is that off button? Oh, yeah, there it is.